What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to be talking about how to handle black hat SEO attacks on your business. And the exciting thing is, I have some examples to show you so you can see exactly what to expect as you start to get more attention for your business, and hopefully give you some ideas on how to handle this type of stuff when it happens to you. So I'm going to take a couple minutes to share this video to my group and to a couple other places to try and get some more people watching. You can help me out with that. If your audience might be interested in dealing with black hat SEO attacks on their business, then, feel free to share this video on your profile as well. That'll help me out a lot. And before I get into the examples of the black hat SEO attacks, I'm going to take a couple minutes to introduce myself, because I know there's a lot of you guys who are new to my profile, new followers. So I'm going to take a couple minutes to talk about my experience with SEO and why I feel I have the right to even talk about this in the first place. And then we will get into some examples of black hat SEO attacks that I've experienced and that I've seen and how I handle them. And you can either, if you like how I handle them, then you could do the same thing, or maybe you'll take it as an example of what not to do and say, hey, I think that's terrible. Either way, the purpose of this is to be a learning experience, and it's not to talk bad about anybody or be negative in any way. These examples are for educational purposes only, so I hope you enjoy this video. Take just a second to share this, and we will get started. So, to begin with, my name is James Jernigan from James Jernigan SEO, and I got into SEO professionally, you could say, about a year ago is when I started trying to build an SEO business online. So for the first few months, as anybody starting a new business, I was struggling, and I was going live all the time on YouTube. I was posting on Facebook and doing everything I could to get attention for my business. And initially, my goal was to get clients that I could do SEO for on an ongoing basis, monthly. And so the first few months of that process were tough, right? I was going live all the time, creating tons of content, and starting to get traffic. So then as months went on, I had a few clients, and I was trying to scale up and get more clients. So, hey, what's up, AJ? Glad to have you here. And so in this process of while I was trying to scale up, I found that I was being overwhelmed with workload, right? I wanted to be my own boss and work from home. I had left my job at UPS, so I really needed to get things cranking up. And I started getting clients in, and I was paying my bills, but I still wasn't much happier because I was spending so much time working, whether it was on phone calls with the clients or doing work for the clients. So after about 6 months of that, I decided to get rid of clients and focus on affiliate marketing and digital products. I have my own mini course. It's linked down below, howtorank.com, if you want to check it out. It's $97, a week-long video course. But anyway, so that's my experience with SEO. I've been doing this type of stuff for about a year professionally. SEO is something I've been following and paying attention to pretty much my entire life, right? Because I started using the internet at a very young age, 10, 11, 12, something like that. And I've been using it ever since. And along the way, I've used pretty much every social media platform that exists. I've used all the quick builder, website builders, Wix, Squarespace. I've used WordPress a bit. Those of you guys who follow my content know recently I've been loving GrooveFunnels, and that's what I use. But anyways, today what I want to do is show you guys some examples of black hat SEO attacks that I have experienced towards my business, in hopes that it can help you learn to better deal with them. So the first example I have is something that happened yesterday. This was a live, or the day before, this was a live that Ruan Marino was doing with Chase Reiner, Chris Palmer, William Jones, and a handful of other people that jumped on. So someone let me know that I commented, apparently, on this video with Ruan and Chase and said, Ruan, be careful with William Jones, aka Google My Business SEO. If I was you, I'd get him off your channel, Ruan. He gets jealous when you outrank him and copies and pastes your content. So the thing you need to know about this comment was I did not make this comment. This comment was made by somebody who is impersonating me and has set up obviously a fake Google account using my face and the name of my channel. So my point here is that this is the type of stuff you're going to start experiencing when you start to gain traction, when people start to know who you are and you start getting attention for your business. You'll experience things like people impersonating you. So I think it's important to understand why this is happening. Now, I want to clarify, I have no idea who this is that is impersonating me and leaving comments on other people's channels, but I do want to say, if you get a comment on your channel like this and it looks like it's for me, make sure to click on that profile and see if it's actually me commenting, because I'm guessing Ron deleted this comment because it's, obviously not appropriate to go interrupt somebody else's show with some negative stuff like that, and that is not my style at all. So what I want to show you is my style of dealing with black hat SEO attacks on a business. Now, the first thing I want to say before we go into too much detail is the best thing, what most people are going to advise you to do when someone starts attacking your business, particularly with black hat SEO or really any kind of internet stuff, everything lives on the internet forever. So the number one thing I can recommend is just ignore it, totally ignore it. And that's what I did at first when people started attacking my business. So to give you some more perspective on why someone might have left this comment as me, I want to show you an example of another thing that people do to attack your business using black hat SEO, and it's something called plagiarism. You've probably heard of it before. It's literally copying other people's content. So right here I have an example of that. This is a YouTube description for a video I had months ago. And so what happened was William Jones, aka Google My Business SEO, decided to copy and paste my YouTube description word for word onto his video targeting the exact same keyword, which in this case was CTR manipulation. So I have the screenshots right here. Hopefully you can see those in the background of this video here. And then down here, it happened again. I noticed another video on his channel that had exact word for word copies of my content. So the first thing I did was ignore it, right? When the first time it happened, I just completely ignored it. The second time I noticed it, I went ahead and left a comment on the video and asked why William was copying my content, at which point he messaged me, and I have the message right here, and said I was coming after him. And I said, hey man, I'm not coming after you. I'm just pointing it out. If you're going to copy anything of mine word for word, I have the right to point it out, right? If you can copy, I can make jokes. And he says that's the problem. If you look at it word for word, I did not. And he says that the title and copy is different, but if we scroll up and look at the screenshots, it is literally word for word copy and paste. So again, at this point, I had done nothing other than comment on his video saying, hey, you've copied my content. Hey, what's up, Lucas? Glad to have you here. Anyways, all I did at first was just say, hey, you're copying my content, just so that the people watching would know. And so then he messages me and says that he didn't do it. And then I found something really interesting. I found a clone of my business website, which is BaltimoreCitySEO.com. That's one of my websites. I noticed the domain registered JamesJerniganSEO.com. So I didn't own this domain at the time. And when I clicked on it, I noticed that it was an exact clone of my business website, BaltimoreCitySEO.com. And when I did a little digging, there's tools you can use online to find out who's hosting different websites and stuff like that. And so I did a little digging, and I found that this website, this clone, this fake fraudulent website pretending to be me and my business, was hosted on the same custom name servers as Rank Fortress Academy, which was very interesting. So I had just caught somebody plagiarizing my content twice in a row. And now I find a plagiarized website that's hosted on the same custom name servers. As you can see here, name servers dominate GMB now, dominate GMB now. So the only way to get content on custom name servers is if you own or have access to the name servers, right? So what I did next was submit a DMCA request. And this is a takedown request basically saying, hey, someone is abusing my business information. Can you please remove this? So I sent this to HawkHost, which was, as you can see here, the hosting provider, and they immediately pulled the content down, or told whoever created it, which I'm assuming here is somebody at Rank Fortress, right? So what I did was screenshot this, and like I said, in most circumstances, the best thing you can do is to do nothing. But I wanted to go out on a limb here and use this to my advantage. So what I did was take all of these screenshots and post them here on my own website. This is howtorank.com. And so why would I do a thing like this? Well, if somebody is trying to take advantage and use content that I created for their benefit, and clearly they're not going to stop, they're going to continue doing this, well, I would like people, particularly my followers and people who know and trust me, to be aware of what is going on. So what I did was rank this page for Rank Fortress Academy. So now anyone who searches Rank Fortress Academy, a branded search for this person or company who has copied my content, if you search Rank Fortress Academy, here you see the website Rank Fortress Academy, their other website Rank Fortress, and then right under that is a review where I explain, hey, this guy's copied my content. So I don't know if you're anything like me, I have never bought a service online without verifying reviews. And one of the ways to do that is to type the company's name into Google. So now everybody who searches for this brand is also learning about my brand. And I'm not saying this is the right thing for you to do. It may or may not be, but it's what I did, and I just wanted to use that as an example. And you can see, here's the video. Right beneath that is the page that I was just showing you with the proof, essentially, of what was going on. So I have some other examples that I want to show you of other things that can happen. And the reason I'm going to show you these next things is to compare. So this is, plagiarism is definitely black hat SEO. And depending on where and how you do it can be illegal. So I want to show you another example of how to do something similar that's not illegal and not plagiarism. So this is another fun example here. Best looking man in Baltimore. This is a novelty ranking I have. If you click on this second site here, Baltimore City SEO, again, my website, you can see I did this just as a joke. I ranked myself as the best looking man in Baltimore City, basically to explain to people that you know, you can't always trust what you see in Google search results, because there's people like me who are optimizing our content to rank for a particular word. So as it explains here, even if you don't think I'm the best looking man in Baltimore, Google does, because I've optimized my content that way. And you can do the same for your business. So then when I was checking this, I noticed here another SEO guy, Chris Palmer, had ranked for this same keyword, best looking man in Baltimore. Now there's nothing wrong with this. This is not black hat, because obviously I don't own this keyword and it was done as a joke, and I appreciate a good joke. So I wanted to say well done to Chris Palmer for doing this, because he's doing the exact same thing. Just like I said, I ranked for Rank Fortress Academy to try and nab a little bit of traffic that was going to them. Chris Palmer saw that I had done this creative thing and ranked for this, and it turns out that this was actually not Chris. I'm told that this was Holly Starks that ranked this. So well done, Holly. Well done, Chris, on this. And if you look, you could see that this is unique content. It is not a copy of mine, so nothing wrong with that, right? But what he's doing is getting traffic from people who are looking me up. Now they're finding Chris. So well done, Chris and Holly. So what I did to have a little bit of fun with this, I noticed, hey, whether it's Chris or Holly, hey, somebody's trying to rank for this keyword, right? And what I want to point out here is that there's tons of cities, thousands of cities right here in America that Chris could have targeted with this same, or Holly, whoever did this, could have targeted with this same strategy, just like I was trying to nab traffic for this silly keyword. And it's less about getting traffic with this, and it's more as using it as an example when I'm talking to one of my friends or a potential client and they say, what is SEO? I say, hey, look, search the best looking man in Baltimore, and they find me and they're like, oh my God, how did you do that? Well, that's SEO. So that's what I did. So because they could have chosen any city, but they chose to do the exact same city that I did, I figured I'd have a little fun with this. So I ranked a video for best digital marketing company in Tamaqua. Why Tamaqua? Well, if we click on this result right here, Chris Palmer, his Google My Business is listed as Tamaqua, Pennsylvania. So I figured it would be funny if he wanted to take my ranking for the best looking man in Baltimore. I figured I would just do a little demonstration of what I'm capable of and rank for like I said, best digital marketing Tamaqua. And so you can see my video here is now number 2. It was number 1, but what I want to point out is if we click on this video and we come down to the description, it's going to take a minute to load because I'm live streaming here, but if we come down to the description, you'll see I have a blog post here Now this is where things get interesting. So if you take a look at this blog post, here's the content. Meet the best digital marketing team in Tamaqua, Pennsylvania for driving website traffic and increasing conversions in 2022. Now offering search engine optimization and CRO for local businesses. And basically this is just a bunch of nonsense content that I made up. And then if you read all the way down at the bottom here, it says, all claims on this page have been highly exaggerated, if not made up entirely by James Jernigan himself. Don't believe everything you read on the internet, right? Just having a little fun here. That's what I was doing. But what I want to point out here, if we go back to these results here, now if we take a look at this #1 result that is ranking above mine, let this load here. This is coming from Chris Palmer, it says. Now again, I don't know if this was Chris that posted this content, or if it was Holly, or if it was anybody else. I have no idea who did this. But what I noticed about this, when I noticed that my video was now #2 instead of ranking #1, if you come down and read this content, meet the best digital marketing team in Tamaqua, Pennsylvania for driving website traffic and increasing conversions in 2022. Now offering expert search engine optimization and CRO for local businesses. They're conveniently located on Route 209. So again, this is literal direct plagiarism. And I'm not pointing fingers here. I don't know who did this. I don't know if it was Chris, but his name and face are on this content, which is essentially plagiarized from mine. So not a big deal. People copy and paste content every day. You can literally do it with the click of a button. I don't recommend it. I don't consider it ethical. And for those of you guys who follow me know I talk about black hat SEO. And the main reason I talk about black hat SEO is because it gets attention, right? A lot of people are searching for that type of stuff. And to me, there's a huge difference in black hat SEO in the sense of not following Google's terms of use, which is what I think the definition of black hat SEO is. But there's other people who interpret black hat SEO as just doing illegal stuff, right? Breaking the law, hacking, and this kind of stuff. So plagiarism is really at the lower end of black hat SEO. It's simple, right? And it's not a big deal. But I just wanted to point this out. And I have a couple more examples for you guys real quick here when it comes to copying. Now this isn't plagiarism, but another example I wanted to show you is another novelty ranking that I did. As I said, I'm pretty new in the SEO business officially. I started about a year ago. So as a part of that, I wanted to get attention for myself. So I started trying to rank for all these funny keywords, right? Like best looking man in Baltimore. Another one of them is #1 SEO on earth. Because hey, if you're on a sales call with somebody trying to sell them SEO and they're like, well, do you know what you're doing? Hey, search #1 SEO on earth. And boom, if I show up, it gives them a pretty instant idea of what's going on, of how SEO works and what I do. So that's why I ranked for this #1 SEO on earth. And if we scroll down here, you can take a look. #1 result is mine, #2 result is mine, #3 result, #4 is mine, #5 is mine, #6 is mine, #7, this is someone else, we'll get to this in a second. #8 is mine, #9 is mine, and then here we have one other company, Web Effects, showing up. Images are all me, and 2 of these little suggested bubbles are me as well on this page. But what's interesting is if we click on this website right here, we have Holly Starks, William Jones, and Craig Campbell, Chris Palmer listed here. And I talked to Holly recently, and she said she was doing this as an experiment to, that's what we all do as SEOs. We test and we want to see what works and what doesn't. So that's what she's doing here, is testing. But I want to point out that this is a novelty keyword, right? This isn't something that's searched a whole lot, and this was something I did to get attention. And so now other people who have been in the industry for a long time and have been established and have reputations are now copying what I'm doing. And this is different. Like I said, there's not plagiarism involved in this. There's nothing unethical. There's nothing wrong. You can steal anyone's ranking that you want. And I commend people who do that. Great job. But the point I want to make here is that nobody copies losers, right? People copy people who they think are doing better than them and doing something they're not. So that's the only reason I can imagine that so many people are paying attention to what I do and copying me. And the point of me making this video is not to be negative. It's not to call anybody out or point any fingers at anybody. In the end, I want everybody to win, right? I live in Baltimore City. If you've ever heard of Baltimore, you probably know that it has one of the highest murder rates in the world, and there's tons of crime here. The neighborhood I live in now is much better than my previous neighborhood, but for perspective, I hear gunshots almost every day. In my old neighborhood, sometimes, like it was way more frequent. People get robbed, and that's the kind of stuff that desperation leads people to. So if somebody is plagiarizing your content, if somebody is doing black hat attacks against your business, they're probably desperate. Why else would they be attacking your business instead of building up their own? So that is the point here of this demonstration. My main point is that if you are experiencing black hat attacks against your business, or plagiarism, or even people just copying you, it is because you are doing something right, and that should be a message to you that you are on the right track. And like I said, in most circumstances, the best scenario is probably to do nothing, but hey, I think that if you can go out on a limb, rank some content, and nab some extra traffic from somebody who's trying to do the same thing to you, well, hey, that's the name of the game. So that's how I handle black hat SEO attacks on my business. If I think it will bring me some extra traffic. And I'm not saying it's the best thing to do. I'm not saying it's the best way. You might think it's terrible. You might think it's repulsive and not want to do it. But either way, like I said, this is just supposed to be a learning experience so that you can see what to expect if you want to do the same thing and create content and get your name out there. Eventually, you're going to get some haters. And I want to end this video by saying nobody who is more successful than you is going to talk negatively or put you down for trying to do better, right? The only people who are going to criticize you, especially, and there's a difference between helpful, constructive criticism and just finger pointing, right? So anyone who's going to just point a finger at you is clearly desperate or they need help. So I want everyone to win, even people who have done me wrong. So hopefully this video brings these guys some more traffic, brings them some more business. I'm not recommending you do business with any of these people. I recommend verifying reviews and talking to previous clients that they've had, seeing what their experience has been, right? So other than that, I hope this helps you in some way. If not, I at least hope you find it entertaining. And if you want to learn more about how I do SEO, how I get results like taking the entire page except for 2 results for #1 SEO on earth, then check out my training. It's linked down below, howtorank.com. It's a 7-day video training. The first 2 or 3 videos are super short, like 15 minutes, and then it progresses into videos that are about an hour and a half long. And I just walk you through my entire process for finding keywords, for creating content, for using social media for SEO, and kind of manipulating your different profiles to help boost your ranking, like I said, so you can get all of the results on a page instead of just one. And then I show you how to create a website, actually how to create free websites, and then rank them on Google. So other than that, I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you take something positive away from this video, and I hope it's a long time before you start getting these negative attacks. On the one hand, it shows that you're on the right track, but on the other hand, it could be kind of a pain in the ass to deal with. So anyways, just be aware this kind of stuff is probably coming down the pipe to you if you were trying to get attention online. And other than that, I hope you guys have a great day. I got one more question here from Lucas. Did you just do another page with titles for that, or a new domain? No, I did that on my own domain, howtorank.com. If we pull this up again, and that's another difference I want to point out here. So if I pull this down so you can see the URL, this page is howtorank.com/did-you-mean prank fortress SEO. And the difference is this is like taking a domain of somebody else's name is a good way to, again, get your content taken down, because you can't just pretend to be somebody else's business, right? But by putting this on my own domain, howtorank.com, I'm putting my name and my face behind it. I'm not trying to hide and pretend to be somebody I'm not. I'm saying, hey, this is me. My name is James Jernigan. This is my content hosted on somebody else's website. This is all of the evidence I've gathered to find out who is doing this. And by the way, there was a lot more, just like I showed you on this live. Somebody has impersonated me here on YouTube. Before I made this page, I had found copies of my profiles on Twitter, on Reddit, people claiming to be me and my business. And when I investigated those profiles, there was a lot of content about Rank Fortress on those same profiles. Most of them have now been taken down. I don't know if somebody had a change of heart in what they were doing, or if enough people reported it because they realized it wasn't me. I don't know what's going on with it, but like I said, I want everybody to win. I think people can change. I don't think that just because someone has done something wrong once in the past that they can't improve and be a better person. or whatever it is. So like I said, I hope this is a learning experience. I'm not trying to put anybody down. I'm just trying to show what's going on, that these attacks are real. They do happen. They can happen from people you know and maybe even people you trust. So just stay alert out there, and I wish you guys the best of luck with ranking your content.